have looked at for the start of the year up until now for the top 2 oil marketing companies in the country. For oil, this is what the prices look like for petrol and diesel. As at January this year, oil was selling at 15 cedis, 60 pesos. And Star Oil, and as we speak today, based on the prices that they've released for the pricing window in June, is going for 12 cedis, 52 pesos for petrol, while diesel is going for 12 cedis, 98 pesos. So comparing the drop since January to now, for petrol, it has dropped by 16 cedis, 48 pesos, whilst diesel has dropped by 16 cedis, 16.79% rather, since the start of the year. We'll go to another oil marketing company, Star Oil, for instance. They have also recorded some decline. As we speak today, they've also announced a drop in their prices on the market. They started the year at 14 cedis, 99 pesos. As we speak at the moment, petrol is selling for 11 cedis, 77 pesos. Diesel at 12 cedis, 49 pesos. I understand that at some of their stations, they even dropped the price further to about 11 cedis, 57 pesos. So for Star Oil, the price of petrol has dropped by 21.46%, and for diesel, 16.68%. Significant drops there at the pumps, depending on the OMC you buy from. However, consumers think that, especially for this pricing window, looking at how much gains we've made with the CD against the US dollar, the price should have been more. The drop should have been more. Well, joining us via Zoom is the CEO of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, Ghana, Dr. Richardson Opong, to speak to us. I have in studio also the head of Economic and Business Bureau of the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, Charles Kusi Apia. Also to pick up the perspective of the trading community on all that's happening. Cost of fuel is a key determinant in the general cost of doing business in the country. With the price falls that we've seen, how soon should we begin to expect all of these to translate into price reductions? GUTA and its members have argued that they need some more time to begin to drop prices. But with this windfall that they are enjoying, how soon should consumers also begin to benefit? We hope to get answers on that. But we'll go on to the phones now via Zoom. We'll speak to Dr. Richardson Opong on the Chamber, from the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Doc, thank you so much for your time. We've seen some drops from some of your members, 50 pesos, some almost up to 1 cedi. Help us understand what's accounting for this drop and the differentials that we are seeing across.
Thank you so much. So just a quick correction. My name is not Richardson, but it's Riverson.
Forgive me, Riverson.
Yeah, it's fine. So we began a new pricing window from 1st of June, which was yesterday. And mostly than that, when it's weekends, there are some significant delays when it comes to either adjusting upwards or going downwards. That is why you see most of the old pricing windows from particularly last window still activated. What we are seeing today is a drop mainly because of the strength of the CD. Moving from 13 to $10. Say 10-ish. In the market today. At the same time, as predicted, and this prediction came last week, because we saw the Platts prices also moving up by 2.5% and 3% for petrol and diesel respectively. And like I said last week, if the price of last window had maintained, and also if we had seen the CD also doing very well, we should have seen even much more better in terms of price and drop. What we expect with our forecast today, assuming that the landing price of gasoline is say 79, according to what we have in the last pricing day, which is 30th May, as a Friday. And also 602 for diesel. And even if you look at the CD, if you assume the CD as at 10 CD per dollar, indeed we should expect petrol, as we all call it, to be selling at 11.62, and diesel to be selling at 11.7. And let me also mention, let me quickly mention, as you alluded, that most of my members have already changed their pricing to reflect this average. Okay, as an average, because the floor price today is roughly 8 to 9 8 to 9 cities, and that's the floor price, below which no member can sell in the fuel. That means that we anticipate to get the fuel price between $11 to $12 as predicted, and in all this particular window, we are seeing a fall of fuel by about 4 to 8%, and then also 3 to 7% for petrol and diesel respectively. I've received calls from morning. Why are all marketing companies not reflecting the 11.5 or 11.6 average? And the answer is very, very simple, because once a window starts within the weekend, it definitely that doesn't reflect in the market until the working day comes, and all marketing companies, whether it's going up or it's going down, would report the same price to MPA and then activate.
Okay, now, Doc, some have also argued that in the last couple of years, we've seen some similarities in the exchange rate and the price at the pumps. As you speak at the moment, the dollar is selling, the dollar-CD relations are around the 10 region. However, fuel prices are yet to reach there. What is accounting for this differential? Okay,
that's a very wrong assumption, guys. That is a very wrong assumption. If you tell me that exchange rate is equal to fuel price, guys, I don't know which tools you are using.
To be fair, over the last couple of years, we've seen that relationship. When the dollar is about 15, we see fuel prices sell around 15. Now the dollar is trading within the 10 regions, and yet we still prices above 11 and even 12. So it's a trend that we've noticed, and we are referencing.
No. So see. We did this analysis ourselves as well. There is a direct proportion, okay, between how the city behaves and how the pump price behaves, okay?
Okay.
Because when you pick an annual rate, okay, you standardize the plat price, okay? So year on year, you realize that indeed the determinant here will be the forex, but it's not directly equal to, because, like I always say, there are two main variables, okay, in the pump prices that determine whether we're going up or going down, and that's the international benchmark price and the city, okay. As we speak today, the international benchmark prices has increased. And that's why I mentioned in my earlier submission that the last week assumption was that if that figure has stagnated, then what you are saying would have been the case. Okay. But if you have Platts going up, because Brent and WTI are both going up, then I'm sorry, that assumption will not hold.
That's fine. We have Duncan Amwa also joining us via Zoom. Duncan Amwa is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana. Well, he thinks that fuel prices could have gone down further. Duncan, thank you so much for your time. Why do you also hold that position?
Michael, thank you, and good evening to my brother, Dr. Pong. He didn't remind you today is his birthday, so maybe he should take a good one.
I was going to come to that at the end, but well.
The truth is, he would agree that the pricing we are seeing from some OMCs are still on the very high. And I was happy that he did mention that they are doing some 8 to 9 Ghana cedi a liter at the BDC level, which is the ex-refinery price position. I have said, and I would maintain that if you are doing 8 Ghana cedi a liter for PMS, at the BDC position, and then you add your tax total tax exposure of some 3 Ghana 27 pesos, you should be hitting about 11 Ghana 27, right? If you granted all the 75 or 70 pesos that the OMCs insist should be their margin, you will still be under 12 Ghana cedi. And so where you have some still trading at 12 Ghana, 54 pesos, 53 pesos, there's still quite a variance there that I do sincerely think they would have to give to the consumer. I don't know what is accounting for that variance or gap. If you did this simple or common numbers or numericals. And so I will be happy to know why exactly there's a price differential of some 1 Ghana cedi, a complete cedi, between OMCA and OMCB. And the argument has been that they are all not buying from the same BDC. Then I would say that some of the OMCs and the BDCs are equally being price inefficient. You were right in posing to Dr. Opon that there's been that unspoken rule of $1 to a liter. And so if that is the case, over the years, and like you rightly pointed, when the cedi was around 16, petrol was around 15.4, 15.6. It was even lower. Today, you've seen the dollar decline to around 10. Almost 6 Ghana cedis, decline. We have not seen new taxes. And yet, when it comes to reducing fuel prices, you don't see a commensurate decline, even if it wasn't for international market and it was just down to the currency. We should see a lot better than we are seeing now, but that is not what we are seeing. And for us, this is quite worrying. The only bit I would have wished to see is that at least everybody would have gone below the 12 Ghana cedi threshold, so that every Ghanaian buying fuel today could at least be enjoying the benefits of the reduction that the currency is delivering. But that is not the case now, and it is worrying, Michael.
Interesting, Duncan. But at least we'll cut them some slack and say, at least amongst the market players in the across the country in the markets, the OMCs have been relatively consistent with dropping their prices. The Ghana Union of Traders Association say they need time before they will start cutting prices. But maybe now that fuel prices have dropped again, they'll be inspired to drop their prices soon. We have in studio Charles Kusi Pierre Kubi. He is the head of Economic and Business Bureau of GUTA. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, sir. I'm sure you're a very happy man with everything that's happening in the economy, and soon you drop prices further, right?
We are very happy, and prices have already started dropping down. Oh, yes. We did not say we not drop down prices.
You said you needed about 2 months to...
We said that for a drastic reduction in prices,
okay,
we need 2 months.
2 months.
To do that. But even that time, price of items has started dropping. Let me run it down, some of the prices that we know have gone down. When you take 50 kg of rice, previously it was selling at 950 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Now it's selling at 750 Ghana cedis.
750.
Yes, that's 200 Ghana cedis down.
All right. Before you continue, to the viewers watching us, he's running through a number of items that, according to GUTA, the prices have dropped. Please send us your messages and your comments on our Facebook feed. Let us know if they correspond with the prices you've also seen on at the markets when you go there. So you said the rice has gone down 50 kg from 950 to
750
to 750, about 200 cedis drop.
Yes, and the 4 kg was 400, now 330.
330.
Yes, and you take general oil 25 liters. Was selling at 780. Now some range of 620 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Yes, and it took out spaghetti was about 150, now 115. So even within the food commodities, you see some drops in terms of prices. The point is this: we understand the dynamics within the market, and as integral part in terms of economic revamp, we have a responsibility. One of them is to ensure that we safeguard our gains, that we don't just jump into a bandwagon and lose out. That's why I say give us some months so that we probably can have better prediction of what's going to happen tomorrow.
Some will argue that you didn't give us months when the prices went up. You implemented them immediately.
You see, I always make this argument that when forest goes high, it affects us directly. Forest has been the weakest link in terms of capital gains. The only time there's a drop in forest, it has a direct effect on us. But that's also to say that forex is not the only determinant in our price build-up. There are a lot of factors that we look at too. But
like transportation and fuel, which is coming down.
Cost of borrowing is also part of it.
Okay.
Right? And we also look at consumption tax, which also add up to price of items. So we look at all these things. We also look at cost of procurement and cost of replacement. And we look at the dynamics within the numbers. And we come up with a price that will commensurate to the forces in the market. So we've done this arithmetic, and we've come to the conclusion that at this point, it is good to extend some gains to our consumers. That's why you see prices dropping down. But it also comes with a lot of cost to us as businesses. One, we're holding stocks that were procured when the dollar was 15 to a cedi, all right? And you're holding this as parts of your stock, and now forex is coming down. There's a call for you to reduce prices. You want to stay competitive. What do you do? So we are forcing ourselves to remain in business by reducing prices. Today, someone told me that, could you believe I've lost 1 million Ghana cedis because of price reduction?
Explain that to us.
Yes, he was holding stocks, which was procured at 15 to $1. Now, cedi is around 10 region. You have to reduce your price. Reduction from the 15 to 10, that's a capital lost.
Wouldn't that be a one-sided argument? Because
I'm coming.
that same...
I'm coming.
Just to land,
okay.
That same money that he has, that 1.4 million that he has, can get him more value if he goes back to the market because taxes are... duty at the port have reduced, cost of the item has also reduced due to the dollar, so he's still going to make gains anyway.
That is when we're able to sustain what is happening.
And we've seen
because
2 months already.
The
Isn't
point
that enough
is this,
sustenance?
the reduction does not also mean that people are going to purchase from you right away. It will take a time. Just imagine, let me make you this small analogy for you to understand.
Okay.
I gave you goods in credit at the rate of 12 or even 15, all right, which you have given me a check of that.
Okay.
Now, dollar have dropped. Are you going to call me to reduce your debt for you? No, it's an agreement I have to pay. I don't know whether you understand it. So let me make it very simple.
Are you talking about paying your debt in dollar or cedi terms,
No,
just to be clear?
no. I procured items 100,000 when a dollar to a cedi was 15 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Okay. So I used that rate to do my calculations. Now, dollar have dropped, and we are supposed to reduce prices. If I reduce my prices, I'm unable to make up to 100,000 that I owe you.
Okay.
That is the capital loss I'm talking about.
Which is a fair argument.
Of course.
However, beyond
We are
the capital
able
loss,
to sustain this when we're able to more or less cash in when this positive trajectory is sustained. And I'm able to procure stocks at cheaper prices.
But haven't you been cashing in since April when the cedi started appreciating?
No.
Up until now?
No. You see,
it's been 2 months
I'm coming.
of appreciation.
I'm coming. The dynamics are very complex. I've procured items. If I'm holding on stocks at a certain rate, at a certain cost, and price comes down, and I want to stay competitive, I have to lose capital to remain competitive. However, those who are buying in new stocks, they are the people that are beginning to expand such benefits to the consumer. I hope you get it. So for me to stay competitive, I need to reduce my prices to meet the dynamics within the market. That is where the cost aspect comes in. But the assurance is that looking at the gains and the sustainability of it for this period, we have some sort of belief that we will probably in the future make up the losses and stay competitive in the market. That is the kind of sacrifices that businesses we are making to ensure this economy run. And that, of course, is also our social responsibility. That when we're not able to sustain this, because we want to hold on to old prices, one, economic activity will be stampeded. Two, revenue expected from government will also be shortchanged. Three, it will cause government to go and borrow. When government start borrowing, of course, we become the first point of repayment plan. And he does so by raising taxes. And when taxes goes high, it is possible inflation will start going high through cost inflation. And then BOG might probably want to respond When BOG want to respond by arresting inflation, it must also increase policy rate. That will make cost of borrowing goes high. So we are looking at it, and as businesses now, we are ready to sacrifice to ensure the economic revamp, the economic development of this country is attained, because we form part, in fact, the integral part of the economic development of this country.
That's fine. Some messages have come through on Facebook. Betty Marvin says, rice has been $7.50 for a long time, so we should expect it to go down. I never bought at 900. Akusia China, good evening. The prices of rice and oil has been reduced, as I said.
Yeah.
Agongo Roger, good evening. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you. Dennis Redeemer, how fair is this argument? If things had gone up, like by now, they would have also increased. You see, the consumers are a bit not too happy with the delay in reducing the prices. And Dennis Redeemer is also validating what Betty said. Ghanaians are our own enemies, he says. Paul Eric Ufori says, the level of dishonesty on the part of GUTA members is sickening. You have been enjoying windfalls over the last 2.5 months. What sort of archaic justifications the gentleman trying to push across? I don't know if you want to respond to that. But before that, I don't know if we still have Duncan Amo over the phone. Duncan, I know you are a consumer advocate for the petroleum industry, but I don't know if you want to react to what GUTA has been saying with regards to prices too. Do we still have Duncan Amo on the line? We lost Duncan Amo. Okay, so do we still have the CEO of Comac?
I am on the line.
Oh, Duncan, great. I don't know if you want to respond to some of the things GUTA has been saying for price issues.
Of course, Michael, of course. You see, I am tempted to side with some of your texters when they argue that the excuses ought to cease forthwith. I am not a novice when it comes to the importation space. So if you are importing things into the country, the city is not a legal tender. It's a dollar value or dollar index. If I go to buy goods worth $10 million, let's take it that I bought it even in March, right? Where the exchange was around, as you would probably want to have it, 15 Ghana cedi exchange. And so I would have needed necessarily, for 10 million, I would have needed 150 million. Today, for the same 10 million, I don't require 150 million to be able to offset that $10 million capital. Yet I can still get my $10 million for 100 million Ghana cedis. Yet you would have all kinds of, justifications to say that if I sell it using the 10 Ghana exchange, I won't be able to recoup the 150 million that I wanted to recoup in March. Those justifications are sickening to the stomach. Look, if you bought things for $10 million and you needed $150 million 3, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and today you require $100 million, you are still insisting that you should hold on to the intermediate price that you quoted your price for, for which you wanted to recoup your 150 million Ghana to offset the $10 million. That justification ought to stop. And I think that we are becoming a broken record.
All right.
We sing from the same hymn. When the forex goes up, GUTA will cry. When it comes down, they are still crying. I think that they should do better than this. And I don't think the gentleman's justification would wash. We are not giving the OMCs that operate within the petroleum space any space at all to breathe.
Okay.
Even though they have come down, we are insisting that they should have gone down further.
Exactly.
Yes,
and we expect same from GUTA soon. But Duncan, to be fair, they said we should give them 2 months. 1 month is already gone. So we're expecting that they would follow suit soon. But we'll have to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you more. Stay tuned. This is Business Focus.
Every day, people have money emergencies.
of a new chapter. It's the time when your money works for you. Whether you dream of traveling, resting, or giving back, planning now gives you the freedom to choose how you live later. Start today. Your future self will thank you. And that's tidbits from EcoBank Development Corporation, bringing you some tidbits on retirement. But remember that every day people face different emergencies. Police emergency, fire emergency, medical emergency, you name it. But many Ghanaians don't know their emergency numbers. Well, here's one you would want to remember, and a *770 hash. Yes, *770 hash is the new EcoBank money emergency number. *770 hash gives you instant access to loans, fund transfer, utility payments, airtime and data purchases, and so much more, even without data. So there's no need to panic when you find yourself in any money emergency. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial *770 hash now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. And yes, they are sponsors of Business Focus as well as Telecel. We'll bring you now an interview we had earlier with a company that's doing something interesting in the oil and gas space. So earlier today, I had a conversation with a man who has over 35 years of experience in commodity risk management and finance, author of over 70 books, actually, and reports on these issues, formerly responsible for work programs on risk management and finance at the United Nations and World Bank, CEO of the major commodity exchanges in India and Indonesia. He brought the multi-commodity exchange of India to a $3 trillion annual trading value. Enjoy the interview. So we're about to have a conversation with an organization that's doing very interesting work in the gold value chain. And we are speaking to India Gold Metaverse, and we have the Managing Director and CEO, Lamon Rutin, to speak to us. Thank you so much for your time. First of all, help us understand, what does India Gold Metaverse do?
Okay, we want to build a new ecosystem for gold and jewelry. We believe there's a lot of room for better organized players in this sector. India is, as you know, together with China, the largest buyer of gold in the world. But that whole trade is disorganized. We believe that it would be better for everyone, from miners to consumers, if you can better organize that trade. And we are setting up an ecosystem to support that better organized trade. So that goes from buying the bullion, where we would act as a principal, to distributing the jewelry, where we would provide a portal to third-party jewelers.
So for those who are curious to know more about your company, how long have you existed and how much of experience do you have in the value chain?
It's a very young company. It's established now 1.5 years ago. But the people involved have very, very long experience in gold trading. Our shareholders include some important players in the traditional Indian gold sector. My own background, I managed what at the time was the second largest commodity exchange in the world, where we had the largest gold contracts traded in numbers of contracts. So we have a good background in gold.
Sounds interesting. So how crucial are Indian companies to Ghana when it comes to the gold business?
Well, you may not know it, but they're pretty crucial. But there are too many middlemen in the middle, so you may not see the Indian companies at the end. And that's where we see ourselves coming in to cut out some of those middlemen. We are, as I said, the biggest buyer, importer of gold, together with China, biggest consumers. And Ghana is now Africa's largest gold exporter. So there's an evident opportunity here for direct South-South trade.
Talking about opportunities, we do know that Ghana is the largest exporter of gold from the continent, but why Ghana really? Why is Metaverse looking at Ghana?
Why are we looking at Ghana? Well, one of the aspects here in Ghana is that your gold production is not entirely controlled by majors. If all the gold mines are in the hands of large integrated companies Of course, there's not a lot of gold available for the free markets. Here you've got a pretty diversified production. And your new gold board has ambitious plans with small-scale miners. So that will be golds where we believe we would be looking at.
Interesting. So what unique opportunities would you be offering us as a country?
I believe that we have the ability to properly put value to Ghanaian gold. In today's world, as it should be, the value of a commodity is partly linked to the way that it is produced. Clean gold has a higher price than, let's call it, dirty gold. Now, the problem is that to create that clean gold, you need to control to some extent the supply chain. There need to be points at which you measure the technologies that are used in gold production, gold trade, etc. We are a technology company by background. So our background is not in traditional commodity trading. Our background is really in creating technology for the commodity sector, commodity and financial sector. So we believe that we can help build that supply chain in such a way that clean practices, the renewable, sustainable production practices of gold miners are truly rewarded.
Now, we understand you are sponsoring the Mining in Motion
Yes.
conference here in Ghana. What's your interest with it, really?
Well, as I said, there's this move now in Ghana. There is already significant small-scale mining production. With your new gold boards, there's now a move to clean up that traditional gold mining and to expand it. Now, basically, gold needs to find its way to the market. And if you have new producers coming up, those new producers will need new ways to go to market. And even the old producers, if they were using non-sustainable production methods and they're moving to sustainable mining, they will not be, well, they should not be selling to the same people. So the whole theme of the Mining in Motion conference is this small-scale mining transformation. And that's something that we are very interested in because we believe we are a natural match. What Ghana wants to do is exactly what we would like an origin country to be doing. And as I said, your gold is not locked up in the hands of a handful of very big companies. There is a lot of it produced by smaller miners.
We'll delve deeper into that particular conversation, but what will be your key message at this Mining in Motion event?
My key message is that going sustainable is a win-win. You can actually generate more value for the country and less damage to the people by moving to renewable mining practices. However, that requires organization. It doesn't happen automatically. If you want, it's a prisoner's dilemma type issue, where you need something like a central authority, like the gold boards, to move people from what in reality is a bad system to a much better system. So I would basically say, keep it up. I mean, from my reading, Ghana is doing exactly what it should be doing now. It needs organization. It doesn't cost money to become sustainable. It will bring you extra money, but you need a central body to ensure that this will indeed happen.
You've spoken extensively about sustainable mining and the likes, but just help us understand, do you have any traceability system within your operations to ensure that?
Yeah, of course. And in fact, it's the different things that can be done. I mean, blockchain is one where you register production from source to final destination. But there are very interesting Internet of Things opportunities that fit in a proper metaverse, where you register, for example, GPS coordinates of mines. You register them associated with satellite photos. And that will show you, for example, to what extent a mine leads to deforestation. And that in turn will allow you to reward miners who treat the forest well. Because you can pay them partly for the gold and partly for what you see on the satellite photos. And you can do that with Internet of Things. One of the interesting things that are already done here in Ghana is that you geofence equipment. So you would finance, for example, a small-scale miner, but you put a chip in there that switches off once the mining equipment moves outside of a certain parameter. And that will ensure that only the part of land that has been licensed for mining will be mined. So modern technology can do a lot for traceability. And India is a country where a lot of that technology is being developed.
You said a lot of good things about Gold Board that's we're putting together. For you and from your experience, how much of a game changer do you think that institution would be in the whole gold value chain, especially for Ghana?
Well, they have to prove themselves, really. They have an enormous potential, but they have to keep up their work. This is not something that is... You can't change existing practices overnight. Communities need to be educated. They need to develop trust. I mean, at the end of the day, a big problem in better organizing the gold sector is how do you develop trust in new systems? It's all nice and well to say we'll finance this community with, let's say, $500,000 worth of new equipment, and the community promises you that they will pay it back in the future. But how do you ensure that, you know? So it takes time to develop systems and trust, and if you change course halfway, you will never develop the trust necessary to clean up the system. So the Gold Board has started, I think, very well on its path, but they need to keep it up for 3-4 years before you will really see the transformative impact. But the potential is there. Because as I said, you really have practices here in Ghana that are financially bad for you. The pie is smaller. There's less pie to share among people. Okay? So what the Gold Board wants is to create a bigger pie. The issue is, does each of the people who get a piece of the pie in the old system still gets a piece of the pie in the new system? And that's an organizational problem. And there's a lot of politics involved normally at the community level, at the village level, the regional level, and that's not. It's not just talking. It's almost like a day-to-day fight to clean up that system.
We'll see how it pans out in the next couple of months. But then about Ghana, how soon are you commencing operations here?
We will see. I mean, this is we are a young company, and this is the first time that we come here to Ghana. We know that there's an impressive audience at this Mining in Motion conference. We hope to make some good contacts and to be back soon to, as you say, open up for business.
You mentioned earlier that you have plans of something for the consumer market as well. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, on the Indian side, a lot of Indians do not just use gold as jewelry, but they invest in actual jewelry. Now, the whole jewelry market has been changing in India in a massive way. And the systems that exist for people to buy jewelry haven't changed that much. So a lot of people have no access to the type of jewelry that they really want. And we set up basically an Amazon-type market for jewelry in India that will allow people to get jewelry even in modern types that right now is not available.
So that was an earlier interview with Lamon Rutin. He is the managing director and CEO of India Gold Metaverse, a company doing some interesting work in the gold value chain using technology. Well, that'll be all for today's edition of Business Focus here on TV3. For more business stories, please... For watching, as always, please stay safe. Catch you same time next week. Bye.